What's up? What's up, Inland Empire? How are we doing today? Well, Juneteenth has come and go. Hopefully, you had a great Friday. And as the kids always say, fun Friday. So, yes, you know what time it is. This is the 4 o'clock Insights at KCAA Radio 106.5 FM, 1050 AM, which is still in existence, even though a lot of people think it's a dinosaur, but we still are rocking the airways of AM. Now let's get into it. I'm your host, James Kane, and my inner circle is,
Skittles.
and we come here today to ask a few little questions about what is black independence and what's the difference from independence and emancipation. Also, we got some things about Father's Day. It's a lot going on, men versus women, soft movement, city girl. Now we learned that a lot of us didn't know that June is man's mental health month. Can we get an amen to that, Skittles?
Amen.
And hit us with a little clap there. Well, hopefully all you men is having a great weekend, Father's Day weekend. But I ask you, why is the man's month mental health? And for women, March is the National Women's Day. Because see, I'm gonna bring something up that a lot of us don't pay attention to, and some of you really don't care. But it's kind of odd to me. This is Man's Month, so I'm going to support the men this month. We did March, we did May. So let's give the men a little shout out. Okay, now, as the people, we're going to come in with Juneteenth. We'll get to Father's Day. But right now, I'm going to have Skittles come in with four aspects of Emancipation Day. That's what it used to be called. It wasn't June 10th. So let's give our viewers and listeners a little bit on the James Kane experience. What is Black Independence or Emancipation Day? So, what is number one, Skittles?
Number one. So, January 1st, Emancipation Day, observed in many northern and eastern black communities.
Now, these black communities were in the North.
Yes.
Now, we can see that, well, some of you don't know that Abraham Lincoln
Hmm.
could not free the South
Yeah.
because General Lee was the president at that time. So the blacks in the South, when he um, first brought it into law or signed the Emancipation a Proclamation, it was January 1st, 1865. Now,
Yeah.
shouldn't that be Black Independence Day? Because
Yeah.
that's when it was first introduced.
Yep. True.
And as we go on to say, it was only for the North. It's because it wasn't for all the blacks. It was just for the North. But a lot of people at that time, that's why education is really important, and our elders and to teach the youth about this history, which is black history and American history together, that another day came, and this is what happened is when the North won over the South, General Lee gave up his right as being the president over the South. So that was also something we went on to during that Civil War was the North at that time, 1865. We know, no, I know the Jim Crow era stopped, but we just talking about 1865. At that time, we realized that slavery legally was coming to an end. That didn't mean they wasn't still practicing it. That just mean Abraham Lincoln signed that Bill of Rights, which we know now as the 13th Amendment. Now, number two. Hit me with number two, Skittles.
Yes, number two will be June 19th. Organizing in Texas and now observed as a national holiday.
Now, Juneteenth is
Uh huh.
interesting. It's because now we also had January, that's the
Yes.
North. Now, as time goes on, they get to Texas, and now it's a shout out. It's all over. Blacks have been or have emancipation, and I'll get to what's the difference from independence and emancipation because I'm gonna ask you a question, my viewers and listeners. Now, Juneteenth is just the part where Texas is really a Texas thing, but they give it to us as they always do. And we know that our sitting president right now has put it as a federal holiday, which is great. Anytime you can get a holiday, a day off work, or just hanging out with your family, is great. And then it's also Father's Day weekend. It's also men's health, mental health month. Okay, so as we learned that it's mainly a Texas thing, it's kind of brought everything together. It was
You fine?
it was something that took a lot of time and
Yeah.
effort. If you could just think back to 1865, it was kind of hard for those individuals at that time for what they was going through, but it was also pure joy and euphoria. That
Yeah.
euphoria was now we're free, but were they really? Now we're gonna get to number three.
Yes. Number three, December 6th. Ratification of the 13th Amendment. Let's talk about it.
Now ratification of the
Mm-hmm.
13th Amendment. Now that this is now how 1865
Yeah.
ended. It started January 1st, acknowledging that slavery is over. The North has won,
Yes.
in a sense, but not as black people know it today. But is this another day of black independence? Do we have sovereignty over our slave masters or the system or white supremacy as we knew it at that time? Or is it just another law that came in effect during that time
Mm-hmm.
to give all blacks the right to be free? Because emancipation and independence are different.
Mm-hmm.
One is sovereignty over a country, and one is just a personal freedom from something. And at that time, it was slavery from white supremacy. So, did we earn our sovereignty or did we just be free in the words of slavery? Did we benefit from our labor? Are we servants or are we free? Do we have sovereignty or do we still have bondage? It's a question that you really need to ask yourself because when we look at things today, what do you think? Are you free to think? Are you free on the internet? Are you free in your finances? Do you have to go to work tomorrow if your boss get on your nerves? Can you quit? Are you free in your mind? For men out there, are we free? Can we be celebrated? Can we be just rejoice in the things that we do for our families and for our wives, for our friends, and just being a man. Because sometimes it's not easy being a man. And everyone thinks that men have this power over a lot of things, but at times we don't. It's because sovereignty is something you earn. Emancipation should have already been given to us when we became the United States citizens of America. And they call us Black Americans. So I ask you today on Juneteenth weekend, mental health, men's mental health weekend, and Father's Day weekend. Are you better now? This is to the elders. Are you better now than you were when you were younger? And to the younger people, do you communicate better with your elders than you did before when you was just a teenager, a younger man? And you teenagers, do you listen to your parents? Are you willing to go into the next century as elders? Let's move on to number 4.
Number four, February 1st, National Freedom Day, established by Richard Robert White Sr.
Now, I just wanted to give a shout out to him for something at that time.
Mm-hmm.
He felt the need for us to
Mm-hmm.
understand that it was enormous at the time in 1865, January 1st, which I believe should be Black Independence Day, because
Yeah.
that is where it started from. We've been celebrating New Year's all this time, but why we can't put something that we began? We began a nation within a nation, the Black nation within the United States of America,
Mm-hmm.
and we have established greatness. Every nationality understands that we have gave everything we have to each one of a nationality to serve. And if you lived with us, you understand. We were all together. We didn't look at you as you were Asian. You probably were Asian, but we looked at you as a neighbor. We looked at you as a friend. We looked at you as someone that we can count on when times got hard. That's how it was in the 60s and the 70s. A
Yeah.
neighborhood was a neighborhood.
Yep.
Also, Mexicans, you know, we all grew up together. Majority of
Yes,
the
we did.
Mexicans in California, Southern California, we ate together. We went to each other's house. 90s and the 2000s, a lot has changed.
Yes, it has.
Now, to our fellow white brothers, you know also, we have fed you, you have fed us. You have given us jobs, and we have always worked hard and built the United States, the White House, and any other house you had. Colonism is something that has took over the world, but the fundamentals of it was through black blood. But some would say, no, no, but Europe was falling, and then black blood was used to bring what we know now to become one of the greatest powers around the world. We're not saying that it was right.
Right.
Some say it's wrong, but some say it's right. The elite and the powerful ones who can say they're wrong because they own your property to your house until it's paid off. They give you jobs so you can feed your family. So before we put them down, let's understand how to get wealth and what is wealth. So we'll move on to our next subject.
Yes.
Can you give us a sample there, Skittles, of what's next?
What's next is today's focus on male and female toxicity. Feminist rights is usually in the forerunner, which leads men to action. Why Woman Month is about history, culture, and gender equality. However, Men's Month focus on men's mental health or the lack of men's awareness of men's mental health month. Let's talk about it.
That's what I wanted to get into. Men's Mental Health Month. Okay. A lot of men don't even know if this exists because I didn't. A young man told me, he said, there is. I said, well, wait a minute. Women has multiple days.
Mm-hmm.
So I looked it up. Okay. Women, actually, Father's Day was something started by a woman,
Mm-hmm.
Spokane, Washington. I think her name was Sonora Dobbs. This happened in 1910. Now, Mother's Day was established as a holiday in 1914. It took till 1972 for men to get recognized to have a Father's Day. We get more into that in a moment. So now, this thing or this these subjects that's going on right now,
Yeah.
men versus women. Women get during Mother's Day, let's just say this. Women's Month, everyone is thinking about how women have given to America and the world. Culture, how they raise kids, support. Also, the main thing is gender equality. The feminist movement is a movement that's been going and going and going. And it has a lot of components because every child is a component of the feminist movement. So it never stops. It keeps going and going and going. But the men's movement or men's rights, you don't hear about it. It's not
Yeah.
in the front.
No, it's
Men, it's kind of watered down. I had a discussion with my young daughter. She said more men have mental health. So we did a little quick research on that.
not. Uh-huh.
It was women.
It
More
was
women
women.
have mental health issues than
Yes.
men. Now, men have more of a substance abuse issue.
Mm-hmm.
But why is not men's substance abuse month?
Yeah.
Why is it mental? Because I'll tell you why it's mental. Because they think men are a-holes. Uh, men's problem are women problem. And a lot of times women blame men for their own interest in certain things.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's easy for to blame your counterpart for your lack of success, for what's going on in your mind, for the things that are holding you back, or whose fault it is that the dad is not there. See, we always go with, oh, it's the dad's fault because the kids go with the mom. But we never
Mm-hmm.
ask the mom, okay, why, how did we get here? It's because most of the time the mom takes the kid and
Yeah.
moves on. So the dad never has the right to tell the kids, oh, wait a minute, hold up. This is why we broke because we just didn't get along. It's not my
Mm-hmm.
fault or her fault. It's just young people that grew apart, went in a
Yeah.
different directions. But it's also in a black family, it's always the man has left his responsibility and it makes us seem bad. But they don't talk about the stepfather. Now, you know how I am, 60s and 70s, the decades of the stepfather. Them was good black men back there. And we don't talk enough about them because they took on the responsibility of a home. In ancient times for us and the black community since 1865, it was called the extended family because at that time they took all the great men, the strong men, and tried to make the whole culture look weak. Because if you take the head and
Yeah.
cut it off, the body will fall. And that's what happened in decades of
Yeah.
black males. So you let's say any black male today, of course, you have mental illness. You have
Mhm.
traumas that you have not or they will not even talk to you about because we need to get our movement going and start going back to having men's rights, men's movement, how we feel today, what we have going on at work. Because it's still, if you don't open up a door, you ain't a gentleman. But as you open up this door, this woman talks to you because she's a baddie. She feels that she has the right to talk to you crazy and you're a man, so take it. But then when you talk to her crazy, there's something wrong with you. You have a mental illness. Well, mental health is real. Everyone needs to talk to someone because depression are not only for men, it's for women and it's for us all. So some of us need more than talk. Some of us need to really look within ourselves so we can get back to loving ourselves. And then I think our communities will start loving itself. We don't even talk. Most of the times I leave my house, I have a few neighbors to wave, but I have four houses. They never say anything. They're in their own world, so I'll be in mine. But that should not be. When I grew up, 70s and 80s, everybody spoke. Not anymore. You go to the grocery store, no one speaks. But anyway,
That's
let's
true.
get let's get to our next subject. Can you elaborate, Skittles? And
Yeah.
if you
So
anything to say about this, just jump
no,
on
it
in.
is true. It is true. I think when I went the to go get some food, and like I always say this, like I don't care if you get in my food, you're helping me or whatever. I said this to this young lady. I was just like, she had gave me my food, and all I said is, "I appreciate you." And she looked at me like, "What?" Like no one says that. Like thank you. I appreciate you. I don't care if you're giving me my bag and stuff like that. Sometimes just saying, what, I appreciate you goes a long way.
It does. I love it when someone say they appreciate me and thank you, and I
Mm-hmm.
love saying thank you. When someone
Yeah, me
does something
too.
to me, that's the greatest thing in my day is to see someone that recognizes me, that speaks, because there's a lot goes on
Yeah,
every day, all day long. But
that
we
is
all got
true.
24 hours in a day. What do you do with your 24 hours? Because I know I'm responsible for what I do in my
Mm-hmm.
24 hours. And it's not
Yes.
just sleep. And it's not just work. There's a lot of other things we have to do in a day. So are we moving on to
Yes.
Father's
Yes.
Day? Okay.
Yeah,
Let's
so
do it.
today there are a lot of men feel that Mother's Day euphoria takes a toll on children. So they have no more energy for Father's Day, which is sad. Let's talk about it.
That's a little thing that I brought up because about time, like right now,
Yeah.
do you hear the firecrackers popping?
Mhm.
Do you hear everything going on like on Mother's Day? It's a celebration. And it took a woman to give us this day,
Mhm.
Father's Day. So a woman has to give the man, and I just wanted to know what was going on back then in the 1900s where men didn't feel appreciated, where
Yeah.
men needed someone to speak up for them because they couldn't speak up for themselves. Does that
Hmm.
sound like something we know? People we know? Wow. But I don't think at the time that was intended for black men. I think during those times, we still didn't get recognized as
Yeah.
fathers, as hard workers, as um, we were labeled through the Jim Crow era and through civil rights as lazy, as, but we know that. So we're not going to harbor on our problems. Today we're headed for solutions. We're part of the solution. So we won't go there, but I believe that we party so much because May is also mental health, but it's not
Yes.
women's mental health. It's just mental health month. So there's men, women, children, and everything in May would need to check their mental health. So why is June? I just
Hmm.
want you to really take a look at that and understand why we label men as mental health when we know there's more women that have mental health crises than men. So why do we put that title on Man's Month? I didn't do it. Don't blame me. I just want you to think about it. Give your opinion on any platform. And if you want to give your opinion, you can go to jamescaneexperience.com and we can talk about it other than the
Yes, we
radio.
can.
So, Father's Day is a great day. I remember my stepfather. My father didn't know too well, but when we met, I give you a glimpse on how you can have two fathers. My father didn't start off well. He pretty much, my teenage and young years, he dropped the ball. My stepfather came in, great man. Still to this day, great man. Raised me right, raised me and my brothers. There's a lot of love there. But my real biological father came back when I was 21. And he passed by the time I was 28. Those 7 years, we made up for all the times he wasn't there, laughing, joking, spending time together. And one day, he hugged me, and in front of my grandmother, his mom, he said, "My son is great. This is my boy, and I'm proud of him. I'm proud of what he has become." That was one of my most greatest days, is because he knew that he didn't instill in me what he I needed from a black man, but he knew there was a black man and a black woman in my life that was going to continue to push me, and my personality and who I become today that you hear on this radio was great. So that helped me inside to know that my father recognized and knew that it was his duty as a black man to come back and establish something that he brought into this world. And that's what it's about. There's problems, but are you going to be about a solution? Can you continue reading, Skittles?
Yes. Let's talk about two ways women and children can change the lackluster mode in two ways, but not limited to. One, great food activities and engagement in his favorite conversations, which I want to say yours is about life and sports.
Yes, you're absolutely correct. You know I love. It's funny how you said that. See, that's when your daughter know who you are. My daughter's 6 years old, and she had a project due for
Yeah.
her finals. She made a bunch of clay people, and then she put underneath. the clay person she made for me, she said, "This is daddy." So we asked her, "Why do you have a glob of clay underneath the eyes?" And she said, "Because that's daddy staying up all night thinking about the Raiders." I said, "Yep, you're right. I'll stay up all night. Inland Raider. I'm up all night researching and going to sleep to the Raider updates." So that's your kid watching you and understanding who you are as you watch them and understand who they are. Activities. Your activities is spending time with your dad. Just go up to him, pops. Even if it's your step pops, go up to him and say, "Hey, man, you're doing a great job.
Mm-hmm.
I understand different situations and things that you could be doing, but you here with
Hmm.
me, raising
Yes.
me to be who I need to be as I grow up as a teen, excuse me, a young adult." Or it can just be the person who raised you or who you was. Or it can be your mate. Your mate, you see him raising your children. You can
Yep.
just tell him, "Look, let's go to the movies. Um, we always know good food. Every man, a great woman, what's the first thing she do? She's gonna go on there. I'm gonna tell you about the old school. See, you
Mhm.
youngsters don't know about this, but I'm gonna tell you, older women knows they gonna get up in the morning, might have that tight moo on. They gonna look sexy. They're gonna get in there. The food is gonna smell so good. Everybody, the dog's gonna be barking because they know this is Father's Day. Everybody know Dad is coming. Now, as you get older and we become seniors, you're not the strong man you were in your 30s and your 40s,
No.
chest hanging out. You coming out, "Roar, yeah, here come Big Daddy." You might just be the guy with the pop belly
Mm-hmm.
because you done ate all this great food on Father's Days. Now, you done had 30 Father's Day, 40 Father's Day, and on and on, or you may only have 20. But whatever it is, enjoy yourself. And if you
Right.
have that pop belly, then it's time to exercise. And these activities, our children, our mates can say, "Let's go take a walk. Let me talk to you. Let me conversate about what you want to talk about." You can learn something about your dad's favorite football team. You can learn something about your dad's favorite book. That's why we have Reading for the Blind. You
Mm-hmm.
can read to your dad something that he likes. My daughter reads me scriptures is because I love religions. I love to study them. I love the history about it. And I love that it's all about bettering us as a people mentally, physically, and spiritually.
Mm-hmm.
Also, you can just lay on your dad's lap, give him a hug, and let him know, "We love you, Dad. Without you, it wouldn't be us. We understand what goes on in life because a lot of men work hard. Every year we go through a lot. And we do need mental health month. We need
Yes.
mental health week. We need mental health days. But sometimes we just need our mates, our children to love us. As they say, a man's best friend is his dog, and I tell you why. I just say, no, it's not, but I tell you why. I raised Kane Corsos, and I can go out there, and no matter how my day is going, my two dogs are going to run, hug me, and thank me because they know without me, they don't eat. They'll be in unhumane living quarters. So they thank me. They run and hug me, and then they run, go out, play, guard, and then come back, eat, drink, and look at me and say, yes, it's clean and it smells good in here. Thank you, Master. Next, Skittles.
Yes. All right. The second one. These two actions meet emotionally needs that many fathers express. Respect and appreciation, knowing their work and sacrifice are valued. Let's talk about that part.
Now, this is where men and women differ a lot. It's
Uh-huh.
because one thing my therapist said, wonderful therapist, she's a licensed family therapist. She's out of San Bernardino. Her name is Wandalyn Lane. I just want to give her a shout out because she does a wonderful job with me and my family. So she said two things that just rocked my boat. It said that women look, need security. Men need respect. Now I looked at those two things and said, wait a minute, wait, hold up. Do we really need, do men, that's what we want respect? When I look at it, yes. Because when we don't get respect, we feel unloved,
Yeah.
unappreciated. So that's when a woman start talking to us because most men can't take someone talking because women they're good with their words. They're cunning. They're very laid back, and they know what to say, when to say it. They know how to cut you from your toes all the way to the top of your head with words. And most men can't take that, and we be like, "Wait a minute," and then we argue because sometimes we don't understand each other. It's because women were raised a certain way and men were raised a certain way. And it's just role differences. Nowadays, not saying men can't do women jobs. Don't get me wrong, and women can't do men jobs. If we look at it, traditionally, we had different roles.
Yes.
I'm from more of the old school. Now I know the young, y'all have y'all differences. That's something that you're going to have to work on to find solutions to why the women of your generation think and act the way they do.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just giving a general speech on how the James Kane experience is. Women just want to feel secure, loved, not just physically, but emotionally. And when you start to do that, you'll start noticing that your household will change because men, a lot of us, we just feel like that old Tarzan, that brute. We come in, we're working hard, we're providing, but we're not really having activities with our family. So that's one of the things that we can do on Father's Day. That
Yeah.
activity is also the kids listening to us and we're listening to them because after Father's Day, we have to build
And
our
I'm
freedom.
and I rant.
Yes. So we have to move on. We know finances is always important.
Always.
Finances, finances. And that's another argument that we have
Right.
is who gonna save and who gonna spend. Money
Exactly.
management. What's the next one, Skittles?
All right. Love and belonging, feeling emotionally connected to the people they care for most.
Oh, we won't. Ladies, you're out there. If it's what we say your baby daddy or your father, we just want love. If it go back to respect, love, honor, respect, appreciation, a hug, the affectionate, the intimacy, because that's what we losing a lot of is
Yeah.
the intimacy. We're all gonna have a difference of opinion, but that don't mean
Yes.
you're wrong. That don't mean I'm wrong. That don't mean I'm right. That don't mean
Right.
you're right. It's just a difference of opinion. My mentor in radio explained to me that there is not one truth.
Mhm.
And when I understood what he was talking about, he said every subject, everything in journalism has multiple angles.
Yeah.
So if you look at that every day, you would your family and your teenager, your young adult, daughter, son comes with a problem or something arises. How you want to look at the solution is from a different angle. How do you see it? How do they see it? And then try to look at it. How would someone that's not in your family will see it? And then maybe the solution to all the problems is because sometimes socially we take our problems from our household and
Yeah.
bring them out. And then there's a lot of times we bring our social problems into our household work because some roadways and we bring it into our homes. So now we have a bunch of different problems. So on this Father's Day, all you men, enjoy yourself, open your heart to be loved, and
Right.
let's grow and let's get into the next. Also, let's have a thought. I mean, not a thought. Yes, let's have a thought
A
and let's
final
start
thought. Yes.
thinking about what day do we, black people, want to observe for our black independence? Because that's what we want. Because
Yeah.
our fellow Americans, 1776 is called Independence Day.
Mhm.
They have their sovereignty over Great Britain, the British, or Europe, period. And they became the United States. But we became 1865, January 1st, a nation within a nation. We should have sovereignty over white supremacy. Remember that, people. You have power. You have been empowered by, I didn't say alien empowered, I said empowered by your ancestors to be great and love who you are and live and be entitled because they gave their life, their blood, their skills to move you in a direction to be respected, honored, and have security as a citizen of the United States. Anything else you want to say on that, Skittles?
Um, yes, in general, I just want to say happy Father's Day Eve. And I appreciate you as a father and being in my life, and also appreciate you for bringing me on to the radio station and using my gift in tech to do all the engineering in the work that I do, and I only do it to help my dad, and also I love doing it. And then this is how we bond, me and his bond. So I appreciate you and happy Father's Day Eve.
Thank you. And that's a wonderful thing when a man can hear his child is a part of his dream. And she loves something that I love. Because this has been a dream to me to be able to be
Yeah.
on a live radio station and to be with my daughter as my engineer. I know I mess up a lot. We get
Hey,
it's
we
hard. My
do.
voice move, videoed, but you know what?
We came a long way though.
We have come a long way. We got so far to go, but we will get there, and
Yep.
we're going to get better, and we're going to keep bringing you those insights. It could be
Yes, we
four,
are.
it could be five, but we know this. Every time you tune in to the James Kane experience with James Kane and Skittles, you will learn something. So we'll leave you here with the final saying, as I always. If your life is not going right, restructure, regroup, refocus on what you have left. Love your father so your father can love you. Thank you, and we'll see you next week at 4 on the James Kane Show.